Hi guys, in this video we're going to have a look at Venn diagrams. So lots of you will have seen a Venn diagram early on when doing the highest common factor and lowest common multiple of two numbers, because we use a Venn diagram to help us there. So this is just a little bit more of an explanation, looking at sort of the Venn diagram in a bit more detail. So we'll start off nice and easy with the first example here. So this particular symbol here, that just means what's called the universal set. Okay, so these numbers here are the only numbers that I'm going to be using in my diagram. Okay, sometimes it lays it out like this, sometimes it just says I'm using the numbers 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 or whatever. Let's say, or more professionally, it sort of says it like this. So the set A is just all the odd numbers. So what I would always do is I would always list those out. So obviously we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So that's my set A. And then the prime numbers is set B. So again, I'll just list these out just to help us. Remember, 1 isn't prime. So I've got 2, 3, 5, and 7. So I would always do that just to help you when it comes to populating the Venn diagram. So remember, here's my set A, so the whole circle will be my set A, which is my odd numbers, and the whole of set B, the whole circle, will be my prime numbers. And where they overlap, as you might have remembered from the previous video, is the numbers that are the same. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill that bit in first. So I've got a 3 in both, so I'll put a 3 in there. Now when you cross off a number, when you populate the Venn diagram, not only do you cross it off here, I would also cross it off from your list of numbers. And you'll see why I do that in a minute. I also have 5 in both, and I also have 7 in both. Okay, so cross off the 5 and the 7 from my main numbers. Okay, what's left for set A then? Well, I've got a 1 and a 9, so 1 and a 9, so I'm crossing 1 and 9 off, 1 and 9 off from the all the numbers there, and I've got just a 2 left for this one here, so I cross the 2 off and the 2 off. Now what most people do is they leave it like that, but as you can see from up here, which is why I've crossed these off, I do have a couple of numbers that aren't in either set A or B, and these go around the outside. So I'd have 4, and I'll cross that off. I'll then have 6, 8, and 10. Okay, just do a quick double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, I've used all of them. And obviously, because I've done my sets here, I know I've populated it correctly. So that's how you populate a Venn diagram. But you can also be asked some questions, which we're now going to have a look at in this second example here. But before we do that, I need to fill in the Venn diagram. So again, I've got my set of numbers 1 to 10. So I'm going to write down the square numbers. Well, 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, and 4 squared is 16, so that's out, so I don't care about that. So these are the only square numbers that I've got. And I've got the even numbers, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Now I'm going to fill it in. All right, what's the same? Well, 4 is the same, so I'm going to put that in there and cross it off up here, and that's the only one that is the same. So set A was the square numbers, so I cross 4 out, so what's left? 1 and 9. So cross off 1 and 9, cross them off up here, and then 2, 6, 8, 10. 2, 6, 8, and 10. 2, 6, 8, and 10. So what is left? I've got 3, I've got 5, and a 7, and that's it. Okay, so I filled in my Venn diagram. Now I can answer some of these questions. So we're told a number is picked at random. So any of these numbers I could have. Any of these numbers picked at random. Okay, so what's the probability I only pick a square number? So only a square number is set A, so it could be this whole circle, but obviously the whole circle, this bit here, could also be B. So only a square number must be these ones here. So it's this one here, so only a square number So it would be 2 out of all the numbers, which is 10. Okay, so only a square number. So it's this section here, not including the 4, because that could be included as a even number. So it's only these ones here, 2 out of 10 numbers. This one here, the probability of a square and an even number. So this time we've got this section here. So 4 is the only square and even number. So there's only one number out of the possible 10 in total. And this one here, a square or an even number. So it's 1, 2, these ones have this one here and these ones here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers that satisfy being a square or even out of a possible of 10. Okay, so that's an example of filling in the Venn diagram and then obviously using it to help you with the probabilities. So let's have a look at a few more examples. Let me get my next sheet, which is this one here. Okay, so exactly the same thing. Got my Venn diagram and I need to fill it in. So this time I haven't got numbers. I've just been told a couple of things. Let's have a read. The diagram shows the number of students who picked PE, which we're going to represent by P in our Venn diagram, and art A as an option. So we're told a few things. We've got 18 students study PE, but not art. So straight away I can stick in 18 there because they don't do art, so I don't have to worry about that. 18 are the people who are just doing PE, which is this section here. 22 students study art. So this is the whole circle here. 22 students study art. So I can't fill that in yet because I don't know how many go in here. And then obviously I don't know how many go in here, but I know in total it must be 22. I know that 5 students study both. I can put that in. Remember that section there is the ones who study both. Now I can go back to this one. 22 students study art. Well, I know 5 of them study both. So how many just study art? Well, I do 22, take away 5, which gives me 17. Okay. And I know, or been told, the probability of a student, probability of picking a student that studies art is 22 over 44. Well, I know that 22 students study art, and if it's out of 44, that must mean there's 44 students in total. So if I add these up, okay, I am going to get 40. Yep, 40, which means there must be 4 people or 4 students who didn't pick PE or art as an option. Once you've filled that in, we can start looking at some questions. So what's the probability of studying PE or art? Well, I've got 18 plus 5 plus 17 is 40 out of the possible 44. Okay, so you can do PE or art, so it's these ones here. What's the probability that an art student, so an art student, there was 22, so my denominator in this case is out of 22, because only 22 students studied art, also does PE. Well, 5 of the art students do PE as well, so that one would be 5 over 22. So just be careful there. If you're picking a student at random, it's the total. If it's a bit more specific and says, in this case, an art student, it's only the people who do art. Or likewise, if it just says a PE student, obviously it's just the people who do PE. So be careful with that. Next one here, what they might do is throw a bit of algebra at you. And we've got the Venn diagram here. So we've got 2x, x, 3x plus 16, and then 4 people on the outside. Okay? So we're told here, if the total is 50, find x. Well, all I need to do is add all of these up. So 2x plus x plus 3x plus 16 plus 4. That's going to be the total of the Venn diagram, and obviously we know it's equal, so I've made myself an equation. So a little bit of simplifying then, 2x plus x plus 3x, that's 6x. 16 plus 4 is 20. And that equals 50. So you can do the flow chart or the balance method. I'm going to do the balance method and take away 20 from both sides. So 6x equals 30. Then divide both sides by 6. So x equals 5. Then you can plug it back in here. 2 times 5 gives me 10. Obviously, x on its own is just 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 16 is 31. Add those all up to double check. And 10 add 5 and 31 is 4 is 50. Excellent. So I know I've got it right. Then we can answer the question. What is the probability that an element from set A, so an element just means like a number from set A. So here's set A, which is 15. So an element from A is also in set B. Well, the ones that are in set A that are also in set B is this one here. So it's 5 out of everything in set A, which was 15. So 5 out of 15. Okay, so hopefully that helps and then sort of shows you how to fill in a Venn diagram and also how to answer some of the probability questions that could also be asked. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.